thank you.
Thank you for picking me up. These shoes were just killing my feet. Ain't broke in good yet.
Well, I could see you was limping when you flagged me down.
Putting your wave my arm out before you stop.
Well, I'm used to spotting people who need a lift. I do that all day.
Oh, what a fine thing. You must be a nice man. Come on in and meet my family.
No thanks, lady. I gotta get going.
Oh, don't be in a hurry. Ain't near as late as you think. That clock of yours is way fast. Uh-oh. You stopped altogether now.
Are you talking about that?
Yeah. See, it says 6:30 and it's barely noon. You better get that thing fixed. It's probably a busted mainspring.
Lady, that means $6.30.
Oh, then forget it. You can get a new clock for that. Thanks again. Goodbye.
Hey, but, lady, what about the fare?
Are you asking me?
I sure am.
Well, now, ain't that nice? Wait till I tell Jed. Jed, I'm going to the fair.
Who with, Granny?
Nicest man I met since I come to Beverly Hills. He works for something they call a cab company. But mostly he just drives around and takes tired folks home. He just brung me clean from town.
Well, now, you see, Granny, there's nice folks every place. Just have to take trouble to find them.
You better go out and keep in company, Jed. We're going to do a lot of walking at the fair. I got to get out of these high-style shoes.
All right, Granny. Oh, howdy there. Come in, come in. Reckon you're the young fellow that brought Granny home. My name's Jed Clampett.
Oh, hi.
I don't believe I caught your name.
It's, Burton.
Burton, huh? What's your first name?
Richard.
Mr. Burton. Dick Burton?
That's right, and my wife's name is Elizabeth.
Well, doggy, Liz and Dick Burton. You know there's another Liz and Dick Burton?
No.
Yeah, run a feed store back home.
Feed store?
Been running it for 40 years. Back home, whenever anybody thinks of hogwash, they just naturally think of Liz and Dick. Sit down.
No thanks. Say, what happened to the lady that just came in?
Oh, she'll be down in a minute. She told me about the fair.
Good, that's 6:30.
Well, you got loads of time. Sit down.
Well, glad you're coming. I wanted you to meet my son-in-law. Ain't he a nice feller, Jed?
He sure is.
Gives you a whole new feeling about Beverly Hills. Well, changed my shoes. We're ready for the fair.
Me too, that'll be 6:30.
Oh, you two got lots of time to kill.
Yeah, we can go for another ride.
Not until I get my $6.30.
$6.30.
Well, the time I've been waiting, it should be $7.
What for?
For picking her up in town and bringing her all the way up here.
You mean you're going to charge money to a poor old widow for picking her up and fetching her home?
Of course, that's how I make my living.
Well, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
What?
For making folks think you're so kind and neighborly and then charging them money for it.
Lady, that's my business.
Well, I'm going to make it mine.
Now, simmer down, Granny. Mr. Burton, I reckon what you're doing is within the law, but it's a mighty sorry way for a growed man to behave.
Oh, this has got to be a rib. The costumes, the mansion, the whole bit.
I didn't know I was living in a mansion. I was born in a little log cabin, but poor as we was, I'd have never took a penny the way you're taking it.
Never mind the Gettysburg Address. Just give me my money.
I ain't got no money in these clothes. You'll have to wait a minute.
You ain't waiting for no money. You have slickered your last widow. Death row. Ellie Mae, somebody! Fetch my shotgun!
Hey, look, lady, I'll wait in the cab.
You ain't waiting no place. You get off of our property.
Not till I get my 6:30.
All you're gonna get is 2 12s.
I'm going right to the police.
That's good. Turn yourself in. And when you get out, try and lead a decent life.
Who is he, Granny?
A feller that takes money from innocent women. Why, it's a good thing he showed his colors before he got me out to the fairgrounds and filled me up with cotton candy and soda pop.
Where'd you meet him?
He picked me up in town. Oh, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. He was so nice, it's he nice.
How come he left without his money?
He found out he couldn't get his silver without a little lead.
Now, Granny, you know good and well you wouldn't really shoot nobody with this.
What are you talking about? You know I've smoked the britches of many a chicken thief and revenuer with that gun.
Only when it was loaded with rock salt and bacon rind.
Well, it scared him good. Besides, it gave the chicken something to peck at the next morning. Jethro, you're just the rascal I'm looking for.
Well, what'd I do now?
Nothing. You're gonna learn me to drive.
Well, what for?
Hot. It ain't safe for a lady to walk the streets of Beverly Hills.
All right, Uncle Jed?
I don't see no harm in it. When you get through with Granny, I might just take a go at it myself.
Come on, come on. What do I do first, boy?
Well, the first thing you do is turn that there what you call ignition key.
What does it unlock?
The electricity or something. Then the next thing you do is stomp down on the starter. That's that there little button on the floor. And then you leave off the brake. Like this.
Doggy, she learned quick, didn't she?
She ain't learned yet. She had that thing in gear. Hey, Granny, step on the brake!
Jethro, instead of standing there yelling, maybe you better cut across and catch her before she gets out the gate.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
What did you stop me for? I was just getting going good.
Yes, sir, Ellie Mae, you're gonna make some man mighty. I wish you'd look at that. I ain't seen one of them in years.
Well, tear into it, Paul.
You bet I will. See, this is an extra big one, Ellie. How about you having some?
Oh, no, sir. This is all for you, Paul.
Good. See, you got some hot mustard I could smear on that?
Oh, it's got hot mustard in it, Paul.
Oh, good. Well, how about some sorghum to pour over it?
It's got sorghum in it, too.
Well, say, Ellie Mae, how about you brewing up a pot of coffee?
I got some boiling.
Boiling?
Yes, sir. I'll fetch it over. Eat it while it's hot, Paul. When it gets cool, it gets kind of tough.
You've been boiling that coffee for some time, ain't you?
Yes, sir, Paul. I want to make sure it was good and done.
Well, I tell you what, Ellie, now that you cooked me such a fine lunch, why don't you go out and see how Granny's doing with the driving?
Well, I gotta feed Skipper and JoJo first. Come on, fellas. Time for lunch.
Tell you what, Ellie, let me feed them. You go out and tell Granny about cooking victuals. She'll be right proud of you.
Yes, sir, Paul.
Here you are, Skipper. Let me see you tie into that.
Are you learning to drive, Granny?
Been driving for a half hour. Nothing to it.
Well, let's see you do some.
Plain or fancy?
Oh, just plain, I reckon.
All right.
Oh, your wheel ain't touching, Granny. Just a minute.
Hey, Granny, put on the brake! Hold on the gas!
I can't wait to see her fancy driving.
Wowie! Who's driving that truck?
Hey, you the rascal that was smooth-talking Granny and tried to get her to the fair so you could fill her full of cotton candy and soda pop.
Oh, boy, this has got to be the Beverly Hills Funny Farm.
Hey, where are you going?
Look, I'm sure you're all harmless, but I gotta find the doctor in charge of this place and tell him that somebody left the gate open and 2 beauties got out.
You smooth-talking me.
Oh, boy. Look, honey, take me to your keeper.
Quick, fellas. Take the tug-of-war outside. We don't want to discourage Ellie.
Paul, that rascal that Granny chased. Oh, I see you ate all your omelette.
Omelette?
You want to fix you another one?
Oh, no. I mean, why don't you try cooking something different this time?
Well, to tell the truth, I just as lieve. These here golf eggs sure is hard to cook.
Golf eggs? These the eggs you use in the omelette?
Yes, sir. You'll never crack it that way, Paul. I had to melt these rascals down, shell and all.
I think you best throw these out. I don't think they're strictly fresh leaves.
Yes, sir. Oh, like I started to tell you, that there Burton fella, he's out front. Says he wants to talk to the foreman of this here Skull Ranch.
Skull Ranch?
That's just what he said. He was talking so funny that I just wouldn't let him come in the house.
Good girl, Ellie.
All right. You can take Jethro bird watching this one time. But from now on, concentrate on Ellie Mae.
Very well, Chief. You're the doctor.
Oh, hey, Doc, you're just the fellow I'm looking for. A couple of your guests just checked out of your Ha-Ha Hotel.
What are you talking about?
Oh, the Doc will know what I'm talking about. Hey, look, Doc, you know that little one called Granny?
Yes, what about
Well,
her?
someone left the gate open and she went tearing out of here about a mile a minute, driving an old truck.
Granny driving?
She doesn't know how to drive.
You're telling me she almost creamed the side of my cab.
Anyway, get on the phone to the police. Explain the situation. Ask them not to arrest Granny, just to stop her and bring her back here.
Right, Chief.
By the way, what are you doing here?
I tried to collect some cab fare from Granny, but...
Granny called a cab?
No, I was cruising in town, and she was walking along the curb and waving and yelling at cars, so I picked her up. I thought she was a little peculiar, but I didn't think she was from this place. And when I asked for my fare, she chased me out with a shotgun.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's none of my business, but should they have guns?
No, they shouldn't, but I try to humor them. How much was the fare?
$6.30.
Here, 10. Keep the change.
Oh, thank you very much.
Excuse me, Chief. I have alerted the police. They have issued an all-points bulletin. Granny will be intercepted and escorted home.
Good. Well, if Granny's going to drive in here, I'd better move my car.
Hey, me too.
Hey, Granny, you just went past another red light.
Don't worry about passing them red lights. He's catching up with us.
Granny! This ain't the driveway!
Who needs it? I'm taking a shortcut.
Well, we'll be back shortly.
Here they come, Chief. Mr. Clampett.
Bye.
Beverly Hills Police certainly are efficient.
Best in the country.
Brake! Granny, step on the brake!
Jethro, you ought to learn your granny to park out front like you do.
Uncle Jed, I have done given my last driving lesson.
Granny, are you all right?
Am I all right? I beat that that policeman here.
Lady, I've seen a lot of drivers in my day, but you topped them all. Now, would you sign this citation for me, please?
That's just fine. If you want to wait a little while, I'll go in and see if I can find a picture and I'll autograph it for you.
No, thanks. I'd just like to see your license, please.
Hunting, fishing, or wedding.
Officer, I'm Milburn Drysdale. If you'll step inside, we'll telephone headquarters and straighten the whole thing out.
Hey, buddy, come here.
Yeah?
I can see you're a little confused. Don't you know what this place is?
It's like a private home.
It's a private home, all right, with rubber rooms.
What?
Yeah, it's sort of a very exclusive Freud factory. Yeah, you know, kind of a happy farm.
The little woman I picked up, she's,
Bubbles in the think tank. I brought her back once today. She keeps busting out.
who's that big kid with her?
Well, I figure he's got a little space to rent, too. You know that tall geezer, the one with a scraggly beard? Thinks he's Abe Lincoln.
Well, who's the fella Drysdale?
Oh, he's the doc, the head shrinker.
Thanks, I'm glad you told me. Well, wait a minute, what are you doing here?
Oh, no. That's my cab out there. I'm waiting for somebody to bust out so I can bring him back. The doc pays real good for that.
Don't give me that. It's mine. Now you turn left. You ain't supposed to have this.
Well, there's another one.
Yeah, she's trying to get away from the dog. Looks like a piece of rubber.
Probably wallpaper from a room.
Jojo, you come back here. Jojo, bring that back.
Well, there's another $15. See you later.
Glad that rascal's gone. Granny didn't cotton to him.
Is that because he picked her up and brought her back here?
Yeah, but she can drive now. Make it easier for her to get away.
Why would she want to get away?
Well, it ain't much fun being cooped up in here all day. I can tell you that myself.
Let's put it this way, if you're going to be cooped up, this is a beautiful spot for it.
Yeah, it's nice, all right. You know, I was born and raised in a little log cabin.
Really?
Yeah. Moving into here was like moving into the White House.
Tell me, this little old log cabin you were born in, was it around here somewhere?
Oh, it was way back in the hills, right smack in the middle of the woods.
I'll bet you did a lot of rail split when you were a boy.
It's a fact. Man and boy, I split many a rail.
Did you read by the light of the fire?
When I could find something to read. I used to have to walk 10, 12 miles to borrow a book.
And I'll bet you were always honest and returned it.
You betcha.
Officer, can I see you for a moment?
Be right with you, Doc. Excuse me, Mr. President.
Yeah, reckon he heard about my corporation.
I spoke to the captain. I gave him my assurance that Granny would do no more driving. He said to tell you that everything is squared away, okay?
Oh, well, all right, whatever you say.
Get the doc's here. Where do you think you're going?
Bird watching. You promised I could take Jethro.
Well, all right, go ahead.
Perhaps we should see a red-breasted nuthat, sort of yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Well, it's none of my business, but shouldn't somebody go along to keep an eye on those two?
You want the job?
No. Thank you. But there is something. You know, I've never been in a place like this. Could I go upstairs and look around?
Sure, if you'd like to. Go ahead.
On a second thought, I'm due back at headquarters. So long, Doctor. And you too, fella. Excuse me, Mr. President, but I gotta get out of here.
Hey, where are you going?
I'm taking the shortcut.
Like Granny opened up a new road.
Oh, here you are, Mr. Clampett. Now, remember, I promised the Beverly Hills Police that Granny will do no more driving.
I'll do my best, Mr. Drysdale, but that's a mighty muley little woman, and she has took quite a shine to driving.
Well, we've got to see to it that... Granny!
She must have snuck around the house.
We've got to stop her.
Relax, Mr. Drysdale. It ain't Granny driving. Spunky little fella. You couldn't get me out in that traffic for money.
Jimmy said he living any time.
Well, we ain't got things in working order yet. Did you fire the pump?
Yes, sir.
Lay a fire in the fireplace?
Yes, sir.
Well, now, I want you to go out and get some wood and lay it by, because the first thing your granny's gonna want to do is start cooking.
Yes, sir.
And bring them guns and put them up on the wall in there. The place won't seem like home to Granny without them guns on the wall.
I'll take care of that right away, Uncle Jed.
Ellie Mae, we'll leave the pots and pans to you.
Yes, sir, Pop.
Mr. Clampett! Mr. Clampett!
Oh, morning, Miss Drysdale.
What is this?
Well, there's a cabin, just like the one back home.
But this is Beverly Hills. You have a mansion. Why do you want this?
It's a surprise for Granny. You see, today is her birthday, and she's been kind of homesick for the hills lately.
Then why don't you take her back to the hills?
Well, we was going to do that, but your husband was dead set against us leaving.
Milburn?
Yes, ma'am. He's the one that thought of bringing his cabin here.
Milburn?
Yes, ma'am. He had one of them movie companies to build it.
He'll pay for this.
Yes, ma'am. He already had.
What?
Well, I tried to argue him out of it, but he said it was his birthday present to Granny.
I'll give him a birthday present.
Well, doggy, he's born the same day as Granny, huh? You got a surprise for him?
Have I ever?
Well, he'll be back directly. Him and Miss Jane is taking Granny for a ride whilst we get the cabin ready to surprise her. And it wasn't easy. Getting that little woman out of the house was harder than getting a hot mule out of a cool barn.
Granny, you're home.
Why did you bring me back here? My family don't want me.
What?
You heard them trying to get shed of me this morning. Go outside for a while, Granny. Take a ride. Make yourself scared.
Granny, they just wanted...
Nobody even remembered my birthday.
I'll go around to the kitchen and put the candle to the cake.
Right. Now, Granny, I'm sure your family wouldn't forget your birthday.
Did you hear anybody say happy birthday?
No, but...
Did you see anybody give me a present?
No, but...
As much as one little old posy to pin on my dress?
No, but...
A single crumb of a birthday cake with candles on it? Or hear my kinfolk singing to me?
No, but... Oh, here comes Mr. Clampett. I'll bet he has something in mind.
Yeah, how to get rid of poor old wore-out, useless Granny, that's what.
Yeah, Granny, see, they brought you back. Now, we got a little surprise for you, but first off, we want you to put on this here blindfold.
Ah, they're fixing the fire and squad me. You're gonna stand me up against a wall and shoot me.
You hush that kind of talk.
Here are the guns, Uncle Jed.
Out here, you darn fool. Take him around back.
Well, you didn't say which wall.
Quiet and down, put on his blindfold, and come around back with us.
No, at least give me a running start to make it to the head.
Jethro, give me them guns and go fetch your Granny back.
Oh, well, the surprise when she sees the cabin will be worth all this.
Yeah, I reckon so. Oh, speaking of surprises, Miss Drysdale wants you to come right home. She's got one for you.
Oh, wonderful.
I put Granny in yonder and told her not to take off the blindfold till she heard the signal.
What's the signal?
This here?
happy. They got me. It took them 2 shots, but they got me. It's the cabin. It's the little cabin from back home. I've done went to heaven. Thank you. It's just like I always hoped it would be.
I want that horrible shack demolished.
Oh, you can do better than that. Try happy birthday.
Milburn, have you no civic pride, no sense of social responsibility, placing that monstrosity in the very center of Beverly Hills?
Well, it's just till Granny gets over her homesickness. Believe me, it's a temporary thing. Now, come on.
Is that a promise? The cabin is only temporary?
Well, it's just a surprise for Granny's birthday. Now, remember, say nice things. Keep my lodger's depositor happy.
You are obsessed with money. Money, 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 money.
That's it. Say nice things.
This thing is commencing to look like a brush fire.
Yeah, when you get to be Granny's age, you can pretty near bake a cake without an oven.
Oh, good. Here come Mr. and Mrs. Drysdale.
Fine. I kind of think they ought to be the first ones in, toting the cake. Ellie Mae, what's Granny doing?
Just sitting there rocking with a happy look on her face.
When the saints come marching in, when the saints come marching in, oh, it's nice to be here in heaven when the saints come marching in.
Fire is scorching me. Surprise, Granny.
Miss Drysdale, they done sent me to the other place.
Wait, Granny, wait. Come back.
Greetings, wealthy-type people. For my term project in sociology, I'm preparing a paper on the vanishing servant class. I've chosen this section of Beverly Hills for a mansion-to-mansion survey. Now then, first question.
We're in a hurry.
Oh, please, lady, I'm trying to get out of college the hard way. You know, graduate, cap and gown, pomp and circumstance, mom and dad, the new watch, proud of you, daughter, the whole bit.
Milburn, must we listen to this prattle?
Now, Miss Hathaway, get a move on.
While we're waiting, how many servants do you employ?
With the gardener, 4 or 5, I guess.
You're not sure?
Well, who counts? Hurry, Miss Hathaway.
May I ask you how much you pay these servants?
I don't think that's any of your business. Come, Milburn.
Did you employ more or fewer servants 5 years ago? Did you pay them more or less than now? Did you operate a guillotine during the French Revolution? You have the kind face of a lower income type. May I ask you some questions?
Of course, yes.
Get in the car.
Right, Chief? Sorry, miss. When Mr. Drysdale cracks the whip, I must obey.
Do you find that automation and labor-saving devices are replacing the servant to the extent that it affects the labor pool of qualified domestic workers? One question answered out of 103. Well, that's the best I've done yet.
Well, howdy there, little lady.
Hello. Do you do the gardening here?
Well, I do some of the gardening and lots of other things besides. Place this size keeps me and the whole family busy.
Oh, there's a family of you. How many?
4, Granny, today's her birthday, and Ellie Mae, Jethro, and me.
4 of you? To take care of a place this size?
Well, don't look like much, but that's a 35-room house there, and that has about 9, 10 acres of ground besides.
Fantastic. How much does Mr. Drysdale pay you for this?
Well, he don't pay us nothing.
Nothing.
No, ma'am. We don't expect him to. Why, if it wasn't for Mr. Drysdale, we'd all still be back in the hills. It was him that fixed it so we could live on this grand estate.
But he pays you no money for the work you do?
Is he supposed to?
Oh, I want to ask you and your family a lot of questions. Can we go inside and talk?
Well, they ain't in the mansion. They's in the cabin around back. Follow me.
A cabin? In Beverly Hills? Cabin in Beverly Hills.
Young lady, this here's my family. Here's Granny and Jethro and Ellie Mae.
Howdy.
Tobacco Road on Crestview Drive.
I don't believe I caught your name.
Jennings, Virginia Jennings.
Well, come on in, set a spell.
This is your house?
Well, strictly speaking, it belongs to Mr. Drysdale, but he had it put here for us. He's a mighty nice man.
Yeah, I'm all choked up.
Granny, this young lady wants to ask us some questions.
That's the way for young folks to learn. Jethro, you light the fire under my soap kettle.
Yes, Granny.
Ellie Mae, you fetch the lye in the rendering.
Yes, Granny.
Granny, you hadn't ought to be making soap on your birthday.
Got to, Jed. We're plumb out.
You mean you have to make your own soap?
If I wanted, I do.
Well, can't you just get it from the Drysdales?
Oh, shucks, no. They use that fancy store-bought stuff. Much too highfalutin for folks like us.
Sure.
My sociology professor will never believe this.
Fireplace don't draw too good, Granny.
Jed, I'm so grateful to have a fire to cook over again that I don't mind breathing a little smoke.
Haven't you had a fire before now?
Out here in California, no ma'am.
Not since we left the hills, pretty near 2 years ago.
Hope you stay and share victuals with us, ma'am. That's a fine-looking mess of dandelion greens Granny's a-cooking.
Ellie and me picked them from Miss Drysdale's yard last night. She caught us. Oh, was she mad, turned the hose on us.
Picking dandelions out of her yard?
Oh, not that she wants them for herself. Oh, no. Greens ain't good enough for Banker Drysdale's table. They have to have store-bought, butcher-cut, paper-wrapped meat every day.
Now, Granny, you got to remember the Drysdales is high muckety-muck society folks. Next to them, we's rough as cobs.
What do you eat, Granny?
Oh, grits and greens, a little side meat now and then, and a scrawny California rabbit if Jed goes out hunting.
Now, Granny, don't be poor mouthin'. You know that when Cousin Pearl sends us a package of food from back home, ain't nobody in Beverly Hills eats better.
What does your cousin Pearl send you?
Oh, the best of everything. Crawdads, catfish, salted down possum.
We was hoping for some fresh laid eggs, but Miss Drysdale says we have to get rid of our chickens.
Granny, your soap kettle's ready. Should I light the fire?
Not until I check the wind, Ellie. If it's blowing over toward the Drysdales, we better hold off. The smell of Granny's soap cooking just naturally drives that woman into a rage and fury.
This whole situation is an incredible anachronism. It's medieval Europe. It's feudalism. It's serfdom. You are vassals enthralled to a liege lord. How can this despicable anomaly exist in an enlightened 20th century America?
No. Did you ever hear such big words come out of such a little girl? Well, May, if you went to school, you could talk like that.
You never went to school?
Oh, not more than a day or two.
In your whole life?
That's right.
Granny, may I come back later today?
You betcha. We're gonna fire up my birthday cake again and open up my presents.
I'd like to bring a camera, a tape recorder, and a sociology professor.
Well, now, I can't let you give me no camera or recorder, but I will take a look at that sociable professor.
It's the truth, Professor. He's the president of this bank.
Now, Virginia, let's be realistic. Mr. Drysdale is a community leader, a respected man, a responsible citizen.
A feudal lord, that's what he is. And the Clampetts are his serfs, his vassals. They live in a little shack on the grounds of his estate. They have to poach dandelions from his lawn in order to eat. They'd starve if their family didn't send them food packages from back in the hills.
Let's keep our voice down, shall we?
Professor Graham, I have found a family living in virtual bondage in the very center of the wealthiest section of the wealthiest city of the wealthiest country in the world. They face poverty, pestilence, famine.
Jimmy, lower your voice.
The four horsemen of the apocalypse are riding the boulevards of Beverly Hills, and he wants me to lower my voice. I say, let's storm this Bastille. Let's liberate the prisoners of the tyrant Drysdale. Let's show him this is the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let's get out of here.
Down with Drysdale, the death.
Yeah, let's get him.
Oh, Margaret, will you change records? I've listened to you sing the hillbilly blues that's coming out of my ears. But I put the cabin where no one can see it. All right, you can see it. Well, why did you go over there? Well, let them cook soap. They're clean people.
Excuse me, Chief. The young lady who was up at the Clampett mansion is here with the sociology professor. They demand to see you.
What about?
Clampetts. They wish to register a strong complaint.
Well, throw them out.
Let us see them, Chief. The bank guard says they are spokesmen for what might be described as rather an ugly mob.
What a choice. I can listen to my wife or face an ugly mob. I'll take the mob. Goodbye, dear.
Come in, please. Mr. Drysdale, this is Professor Robert Graham of the Department of Social Sciences at the university.
Big deal. So what's your complaint about the Clappets?
Aha, you've had others.
Every day, and I'm sick of them.
Have you no social conscience, no civic pride? Has your greed destroyed
Ginny, I'd better do the talking. Mr. Drysdale, are you responsible for a family of 4 hillbillies occupying a squalid cabin in the middle of Beverly Hills?
Yes, I am, and it's not squalid, it's clean.
Does it have modern conveniences, modern plumbing?
No, but they're very happy there. Or would be if Budinskis like you would leave them alone.
Would you live there, Mr. Drysdale?
Oh, of course not. My wife would leave me like that. Hey, wait a minute, me. No, I still couldn't live the way the Clappets do. Food they eat.
And yet you expect your neighbors to tolerate a condition like that in the most fashionable street in Beverly Hills.
But you can't see them from the street. I was very careful to put the cabin behind some trees.
Ask him about their wages.
Yes, yes. Is it true that not one of them earns even a minimum salary?
So what? They don't need money. They wouldn't know how to handle it if they had it. I take care of all their needs. Anything they want, they come to me.
Well, Professor, have you heard enough?
I think so.
Well, I think so, too. And next time, keep your nose out of other people's business. The Clappets are staying right where they are.
We'll see about that, you tyrant. Caesar had his Brutus, Charles I is Cromwell, and Drysdale will have his Ginny Jennings.
What a couple of ding-a-lings they are.
What a magnificent mansion.
Take a good look, Professor. And then I'll take you around back and show you where the Clampets live. The poor people who take care of this beautiful estate.
That lawn, it's like a carpet.
Watered by the tears of the oppressed. Clipped by toil-worn hands.
Now, Ginny, save it for your term paper.
That look was a fancy foot stomping, Uncle Jed.
Show them good weasels what for.
I don't know about you, but I'm as thirsty as a hound chased fox.
I guess me up a pot throat too.
Me too.
Same here.
Yeah, Drew, I heard you primed this pump.
Didn't do no good. Mr. Drysdale forgot to connect the water.
Well, take this bucket and fill it from one of them hose spigots outside.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Well, there it is.
Why, it's even worse than you described it.
Do you know they didn't even have fire until today?
Incredible.
How can the Drysdales sit up there in their million-dollar mansion eating store-bought, butcher-cut, paper-wrapped meat while their servants live here eating grass?
It's a throwback. It's 100 years of civilization down the drain.
Howdy, Miss Jenny.
Oh, hello, Jethro. This is Professor Graham.
Howdy.
Oh, hello, Jethro. What's that you're carrying?
Drinking water.
Don't you have water in the cabin?
Mr. Drysdale never had it hooked up. We's fixing to die of thirst. Come on inside. It's Granny's birthday, and we's having a square dance.
Isn't that magnificent? Starving, dying of thirst, and they can still dance.
The flame of the human spirit is hard to extinguish.
Inspired by courage like that, we shall lead these people to freedom.
Go on, Granny!
Stop this racket! I am expecting my bridge club, and we cannot possibly concentrate on our game with this dreadful uproar going on not 50 feet from my patio. I demand that you cease at once, or I'll have this cabin dismantled and hauled away to the city dump.
But, Miss Drysdale, it's Granny's birthday, and...
That is my ultimatum. Terminate this cacophonous din instantly and permanently, or else.
Jed, does that mean we can dance or we can't dance?
It means we can't dance.
It means we must dance.
What?
If the chains of bondage are to be broken, let us break them now.
But I thought you said we had to dance.
We do, and we shall. But not here in this squalid cabin, no. We shall dance in that magnificent mansion.
Yeah, I'm for that.
Follow me. We'll dance the dance of defiance.
Jimmy! Granny, you ever hear that dance?
No. But if I can watch her for a minute or two, I'll be able to pick it up. Come on, everybody. We're getting too crowded in here
Clampets, you have danced now for half an hour in this beautiful hall. Has Mrs. Drysdale dared to show her face?
No!
That's right, she ain't.
Has she dared to utter one word of protest?
No! He's right worked up about it, ain't he?
Now you see how the tyrant quails in the face of courage. You have danced the dance of defiance and your fetters are broken.
Doggone it, mine feel like it.
Clampets, now you must press on to ultimate victory. You must not return to that cabin. You must sleep here tonight. You must eat here tonight.
I'm for that. I've been for it all along.
Jethro, noble Spartacus, you shall lead your people to happiness.
Hot diggity dog! You heard her. Head for the kitchen. Come on, folks, join us for supper.
Shall we?
No. We have ignited the torch of liberty, but they have won the battle of freedom.
You're right. To them alone belong the fruits of victory.
Right. Store-bought, butcher-cut, paper-wrapped meat.